In the world of One Piece, becoming the Pirate King is the ultimate dream. It is the title that represents absolute freedom, legendary strength, and the ability to conquer the most dangerous sea in the world, the Grand Line. For decades, pirates have fought, betrayed each other, and risked their lives chasing the treasure left behind by Gold D. Roger, the only man who ever held that title. Naturally, when fans think about the next Pirate King, a few obvious names come to mind. The first is Monkey D. Luffy, the fearless captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, whose entire journey is built around reaching the final island. Others might consider powerful legends like Shanks, or terrifying masterminds like Marshall D. Teach. But there is one name that almost nobody would seriously mention in that conversation: Buggy. Yes, the loud, dramatic clown pirate who constantly panics, exaggerates his achievements, and somehow survives situations that should have destroyed him long ago. At first glance, the idea that Buggy could become the Pirate King sounds completely ridiculous. He is not the strongest fighter, he is not the smartest strategist, and most of the time he is not even in control of the chaos happening around him. But here's where things get interesting. Despite all of this, Buggy has done something that almost no other pirate in the world has managed to do. He keeps failing upward. Every disaster somehow turns into a victory. Every misunderstanding somehow makes him look more legendary. Every accident somehow pushes him closer to power. What started as a small-time pirate crew has somehow turned into a global reputation so big that even the world government has taken him seriously. At one point, he became one of the 7 warlords of the sea. Later, he somehow ended up as the public leader of the terrifying organization known as Cross Guild. And then something happened that shocked the entire world. Buggy, the same pirate who once panicked when facing stronger enemies, was officially recognized as one of the 4 emperors, one of the most powerful pirates on the planet. So the real question becomes this: what if Buggy's story is not just a series of lucky accidents? What if the world continues misunderstanding his rise, all the way to the very top? What if the most chaotic pirate in the world somehow stumbles into the greatest title in history? Could the clown pirate actually become the next Pirate King? It sounds impossible, but in a world as unpredictable as the Grand Line, impossible things happen all the time. The luckiest pirate in history. If there is one pirate in One Piece who perfectly represents the phrase "failing upward," it is Buggy. Most pirates become famous through strength, strategy, or terrifying reputation. But Buggy's rise to global fame followed a completely different path: pure chaos mixed with unbelievable luck. At the beginning of the story, Buggy was nothing more than a small-time pirate captain roaming the East Blue. His crew was mediocre, his ambitions were mostly about treasure, and he certainly was not seen as a future world-shaking pirate. In fact, when he first encountered Monkey D. Luffy, Buggy was defeated rather quickly. At that moment, nobody would have predicted that this clown pirate would one day stand among the most powerful figures in the world. But something strange kept happening to Buggy. Every time he should have fallen into obscurity, his reputation somehow grew instead. People misunderstood his actions, enemies exaggerated his power, and his dramatic personality made every story about him sound even more legendary. Soon, rumors about Buggy began spreading across the seas. The world government started hearing his name more often, and pirates began assuming he was far more dangerous than he actually was. But the real turning point in Buggy's lucky pirate story had not happened yet. That moment would arrive inside one of the most dangerous places in the world, a prison so terrifying that almost nobody had ever escaped it, and that prison was Impel Down. What happened there would transform Buggy from a minor pirate into a legend. The secret advantage: connections to the Pirate King. One of the biggest reasons Buggy's reputation keeps growing is something many pirates would kill for: his past. Long before the events of One Piece began, Buggy was actually part of one of the most legendary pirate crews in history. He sailed under none other than Gold D. Roger, the man who became the Pirate King. As a young apprentice pirate, Buggy traveled alongside some of the greatest names in the world. Among them was his former crewmate and rival, Shanks. At the time, Buggy was just a kid on the ship. He was not the strongest fighter and definitely not the captain. But that detail doesn't matter to the outside world, because when people hear that someone once sailed with the Pirate King, they assume greatness. To the average pirate or marine, Buggy's past
like a legendary figure. Think about it from the world's perspective. If someone trained under the Pirate King, if someone sailed with Shanks, if someone survived the most dangerous pirate era, then surely that person must be incredibly powerful. Buggy never planned to use this reputation, but the world built the legend for him, and as time passed, that legend would only grow stronger, especially after the chaos that erupted inside Impel Down. Impel Down, the accident that changed everything. The prison known as Impel Down is considered one of the most secure places in the entire world. Countless dangerous criminals are locked inside its massive underground levels, guarded by powerful wardens and brutal creatures. Escaping from Impel Down was believed to be impossible, and yet, that is exactly where Buggy's legend truly began. When Monkey D. Luffy broke into the prison to rescue his brother, chaos erupted throughout the entire facility. During this madness, Buggy was freed from his cell. At first, Buggy's only goal was simple: escape and survive. But something unexpected happened. As the prison began collapsing into chaos, hundreds of dangerous prisoners saw Buggy fighting, shouting orders, and boldly moving through the prison. From their perspective, it looked like Buggy was leading the entire breakout. Prisoners from multiple levels started following him. Some believed he was a legendary pirate. Others thought he had a secret plan. Many simply followed him because he seemed fearless. In reality, Buggy was just trying to stay alive. But by the time the chaos ended, the world believed something completely different. To many former prisoners, Buggy was the hero who led the greatest prison escape in history, and those prisoners would soon become some of the most loyal followers he ever had. Marineford, when the world started believing the lie. The next major chapter in Buggy's accidental rise happened during one of the biggest battles in pirate history, the Battle of Marineford. This massive war involved the Navy, powerful pirates, and the legendary crew of Edward Newgate, also known as Whitebeard. Buggy arrived at the battlefield alongside the prisoners who escaped with him from Impel Down. But here is where things became truly absurd. Because of the chaos of war, many people watching the battle, including the global audience seeing it through transponder snails, misunderstood Buggy's role completely. Whenever Buggy shouted dramatically or gave exaggerated speeches, it looked like he was commanding a massive pirate force. Whenever the prisoners fought fiercely, it seemed like they were loyal soldiers following Buggy's orders. To the outside world, Buggy suddenly looked like a powerful pirate leader commanding dangerous criminals. The war broadcast spread Buggy's image across the entire world, and just like that, the legend of Buggy the Clown grew even larger. The lie had become global. After the chaos of the Battle of Marineford, the balance of power in the world began to change. The world government needed strong pirates to maintain control over the seas through a system known as the 7 Warlords of the Sea. These pirates were given special privileges in exchange for cooperating with the government, and somehow, Buggy was chosen. To the government, Buggy looked like a pirate with connections to Goldie Roger, influence over dangerous criminals, a rapidly growing pirate organization. From their perspective, Buggy was a perfect candidate. So the clown pirate who once struggled in East Blue suddenly became an official government-backed warlord. This gave him resources, protection, and influence across the seas. But Buggy himself knew the truth. He had no master plan. He was simply riding a wave of misunderstandings that kept getting bigger. Cross-Guild, the craziest power move. Years later, another bizarre event would push Buggy's reputation to an even higher level, the formation of Cross-Guild. This organization shocked the entire world because it did something unprecedented. It placed bounties on Marines. Instead of the government hunting pirates, Cross-Guild encouraged pirates and bounty hunters to hunt Marines instead. The terrifying part of this organization was its true power. Behind the scenes were 2 monsters of the sea: Dracula Mihawk, the greatest swordsman in the world; Crocodile, a ruthless mastermind. But due to a ridiculous misunderstanding, the world believed Buggy was the leader. Posters, rumors, and news reports all showed Buggy as the boss behind these terrifying pirates. Once again, Buggy had fallen upward. He had accidentally become the face of one of the most dangerous organizations on the sea. The Yonko mistake. Then came the moment that shocked the entire world. After major changes shook the pirate era, new powers rose to dominate the seas. Among them were the 4 emperors, the most powerful pirate rulers of the New World. And somehow, Buggy was named
as one of them. Yes, Buggy, the dramatic clown pirate who once struggled in East Blue, was now officially considered one of the most powerful pirates alive. To the world, the evidence seemed clear. He commanded a powerful organization, he had legendary connections, dangerous pirates followed him. But the truth was far more ridiculous. Buggy had simply become the largest misunderstanding in pirate history. The treasure hunt for the One Piece. Now imagine what happens next. As one of the 4 emperors, Buggy is expected to compete in the ultimate race, the search for the treasure known as the One Piece. Pirates across the world are chasing the clues left behind by Goldie Roger. Naturally,
Buggy does not actually want to fight the strongest pirates in the world, but his followers believe their captain has a master plan. They assume Buggy knows secret information about the Pirate King's journey. After all, Buggy once sailed on Roger's ship. So when Buggy casually mentions old memories or random locations, his crew interprets them as hidden clues. Without even realizing it, Buggy might accidentally guide his crew closer and closer to the final island. Now imagine the most ridiculous scenario possible. During the chaos of pirate battles, alliances, and betrayals, Buggy and his crew stumble across something incredible. A forgotten path, an ancient clue, or even a secret route that leads directly to the final island, Laugh-Tale. Not because Buggy solved the mystery, not because he defeated powerful enemies, but because of pure luck and coincidence. The clown pirate who spent most of his career running from danger might accidentally reach the final destination first. The world's most confused pirate king. Imagine the moment when the news spreads across the world. Reports start appearing everywhere. Transponder snails broadcast the shocking headline, "Buggy has found the One Piece." Governments panic, pirates rage, and ordinary people cannot believe the news. The clown pirate, the accidental emperor, the chaotic legend, has now become the Pirate King. Even Buggy himself might not fully understand how it happened, but by that point, the legend would already be unstoppable. Because in the unpredictable world of pirates, sometimes the biggest victories belong to the most unexpected people. The joke that might actually happen. At first glance, the idea that Buggy could become the Pirate King sounds like the biggest joke in the entire world of One Piece. After all, the journey to the top of the pirate world has always been portrayed as something only the strongest, smartest, and most determined pirates could achieve. Pirates like Monkey D. Luffy have trained for years, fought impossible battles, and risked everything to reach the final island. Legends like Shanks dominate the seas through power and influence. And dangerous masterminds like Marshall D. Teach chase power with ruthless ambition. Buggy, on the other hand, has spent most of his journey running from danger, exaggerating his achievements, and surviving situations through ridiculous luck. And yet, look at where he is now. He once sailed with Goldie Roger. He escaped the legendary prison Impel Down. He stood in the middle of the war at Battle of Marineford. He became one of the 7 warlords of the sea. He ended up as the public face of Crossguild. And somehow, he was crowned one of the 4 emperors. Step by step, misunderstanding by misunderstanding, Buggy has climbed higher than almost anyone expected. And that is what makes this theory so interesting. Because One Piece has never been just about strength. It has always been about dreams, chaos, freedom, and the unpredictable nature of the sea. The story constantly shows that the world does not always follow logic. Sometimes legends are built from misunderstandings. Sometimes the loudest pirate in the room becomes the most famous one. From my perspective, this is exactly the kind of twist that would perfectly match the spirit of the series. Imagine the final saga reaching its climax. The strongest pirates are battling across the seas. The race for the treasure left by Goldie Roger is more intense than ever. Everyone expects an epic showdown to decide who becomes the Pirate King. And then, in the middle of all that chaos, Buggy accidentally finds the treasure. Not through power, not through strategy, but through the same ridiculous luck that carried him through his entire journey. It would be hilarious. It would shock the entire world. And most importantly, it would feel very One Piece. Because in a story about freedom, adventure, and endless surprises, the most unbelievable outcome might be the one nobody saw coming. So here's the final question. What if the greatest pirate era ends not with the strongest pirate winning, but with the luckiest clown in history standing at the top of the world? Could Buggy truly become the Pirate King? Or has the biggest joke in the
line been quietly building toward the most unexpected ending of all time? Only the final chapters of One Piece will reveal the truth. But one thing is certain. If Buggy actually becomes the Pirate King, the entire world will never stop laughing.